If you want to get decent sound out of a cheap Crosley or something similar, then you need to know how to do it, and this will show you how to do it. Lots of pitfalls, lots of stumblings over, and triumph at the end, hopefully. Anyway, join me and we'll see where we go. This is a journey. It says journey of discovery and a journey of confirmation. And I'd like to say thank you to the Westlife and also to Recordology, because they've put a couple of videos up about this, what I'm doing, and it sort of guided me in the direction of sort of understanding what they're doing. And I think I know why some things work the way they do and some things don't work the way they do. I've got the Crosley, as you know, and I've changed the cartridge to be the flip over type BP2ATC. Well, anyway, I've put this flip over stylus one on it, and it's fine. It plays normal records quite nicely, not a problem. But I was a bit worried about the sound quality. It sounded fine on the Crosley itself, but when I was actually feeding the digital signal out to the computer, apart from the fact that I had a hum loop, which you may have seen, I got rid of that. But it sounded a bit brittle. But as I say, it sounded fine on the actual Crosley. So I was then thinking, well, yeah, I'll look into this, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But whilst I was doing research today for this video, which wasn't meant to be this video, this is a different video to what this video really is. You see, life really does get complicated if you don't try and keep it simple. Whilst researching for this video, which was meant to be a compilation of 78s, I discovered there was a few problems I was getting. And so I went and had a look at Westlife's video from 4 years ago, and he got good results, and he was using a Y connector effectively to connect the source to his direct couple audio. And I also had a look at one from Recordology around about Christmas time where he fitted one, and he wasn't overly impressed with the results, although the one from Westlife was very good. So I thought you might be interested in this. What it is I've discovered, I think, why the Recordology one didn't work so well for him, because I had a similar problem, and I think I know why the one for Westlife did work, because he didn't have a problem. And so I've put the knowledge from his video, Recordology's video, and my research together to try and give you this sort of rundown on the do's and don'ts on using something like this to try and make the Crosley sound better. So hopefully it will be interesting. So this is the first stage. So that was playing the tail end of that disc that you saw there. That was the microphone picking it up on my camera. And this is now, the pictures are the same, but this is now the direct feed. See if you can tell the difference. Well, believe it or not, that was exactly the same sound, as in that was the track that was being recorded at the same time as the Crosley bit on my phone was being recorded. So why do they sound so different? Well, let's have a look. I think I know what the answer is. See if you agree. This was Westlife's setup. As you can see, he's got a TAC and he's got his Y connector, so he's recording true mono. And if you go to his channel and watch this bit, you'll find that the audio is excellent. Whereas when Recordology fitted the cartridge to his decks, they sounded the same as mine, basically. Which is to say they sounded better than when you had the old cartridge on, but not really that good, you know. Now I want to do a little bit of screen work with you. It's I'm sorry. If you can see it and then you can hear it, you might understand where I'm coming from and see where we can go with it. Let me show you something. This is quite interesting, really. Honest. This is the Audacity trace, as you can see here. This is the Audacity trace for that tune that I just played. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. Right. Now, the tune I just played sounded pretty awful, as you heard. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, I'm going to reproduce what Westlife did. So, first of all, select the track. Then I can go into tracks. Then I can do mix. I'm going to mix it down to mono. So there we go. That's now in mono. And if I just play that first bit again, you will hear how it sounds. And have I got... Right, now, so that should have been obvious to you. That was much better sounding than when it was in stereo. Still pretty awful, but it's better than it was. It's less distorted in a particular way. And this is the problem, I think, that is most obvious. Now, let me just do something else for you. This is literally the way it came out of the headphone socket. And yes, it sounded better on the actual Crosley playback than it did on this, but it's the same signal, so why would that be? So we put it into mono, and well, it now sounds better, but it's still pretty sharp. So let us try this. I came across the idea that possibly, just possibly, it wasn't quite right. Now, has anybody heard of the RIAA? Well, let me just turn on this graphic. It's going to be showing you there. That's not an RIAA. Let me bring up RIAA. So we go down to factory presets and we go for RIAA. There's your RIAA curve. This is a playback curve. And I'll just apply that to the... Now watch what actually happens to this waveform. It's quite interesting. It's gone fluffy. I'm doing this in real time so you can actually see. I'm not trying to pull any wool over anybody's eyes. Right, so there's the... So let's do... Just do an undo. Just do an undo. So there's your stereo to mono. So we'll do a redo, stereo to mono. That's your stereo to mono. Then we do a redo the graphic equalizer. So we put the RIAA back on it again. Here we go. Now you see it's got fluffier. Well, if you look at the actual RIAA curve, you can see, let's just bring it down. That is a 20 dB, near enough, 19.9 dB boost to the bass. And that is a 20 dB cut to the treble. So what they're basically doing, and if you remember what the RIAA is about, this is why people talk about why you have to have a preamp. The RIAA is they record the bass, which is this part, very much reduced, because when you're looking at, if you're looking at a record and the needle, let's assume this phone is a record and you're going to cut a groove in it, the bass is big, like that. Let's put it there. The bass is big like that, and the treble is very quick and very small. So what they do is, and the treble looks like scratches. So in order to try and get a decent replay, what they do is they cut down the bass by making it very much smaller. So let's invert this. This is how they record the signal. They record it with very low bass, but the signal's there, and they record it with very boosted high frequencies, and the signal's there. And the idea of that is that the high frequencies that you want, you've made louder than the scratches. And the signals, the bass signals that you need are only there enough to tell you how to use them. So we put that back to the proper shape. That means that what you end up with is this slightly fluffy waveform. Now let me play this bit back for you now. You know that bit we just played? Let's just play it again. But that is the difference. The distortion has gone. Most of the scratching noise has now been reduced to what you expect a 78 to sound like. And overall, that's not bad. Now, on the Westlife thing, he showed that he hadn't done any post-production to the sound. One of the important things about Westlife's one is that he was using a TIAC. And I think it would probably be fair to say that the TIAC had the RIAA compensation put in. So when he fed the signal out, he had a properly compensated signal. But when Recordology, and also when I fed the signal out, we actually had not got RIAA compensation on there, and that's why Recordology was disappointed, and that's why I was disappointed. All I've done is made it mono and put the RIAA on, and it sounds so much better. Anyway, having done all that, I've put at the very end the 3 clips, one after the other, so you can hear one, then the other, and then the other, so you can actually compare what they're like. So hopefully you've got some value out of that, and this is going to lead me on to another one where I'm going to show you one of the consequences of RIAA on the next video. So you'll find that up there. Thanks very much. If you've got any questions or if you've got any experience, please put it in the comments. And in the meantime, I will say to you, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you another time. Thank you.